Flappers, before we get into the video, there is a huge announcement for the channel. We will be doing a huge community PvP with Jazzy's community tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys don't know who Jazzy is, just go on YouTube, type in Jazze. The man is pretty well known in the Genshin Impact community. So with each win we have over Jazzy's community, there will be a winner drawn for a giveaway, with prizes ranging from Welkin Moons all the way up to the $50 gem pack. There are plenty of opportunities to win. The tournament will be split into 3 stages. Stage 1 will be Archery PvP. Stage 2 will be Mondstadt Hide and Seek. And Stage 3 will be the Tectone Genshin Marathon. So make sure to subscribe and tune in for a chance to win some goodies. For those who will miss the stream, it's all good. I stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can tune in at those times for some giveaways every now and then as well. Anyways, with all that self-plug out of the way, you will find all the timestamps in the description below as always. So please use them to navigate to parts of the videos you need the most. Now with that said, sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. One of the first tips I want to give regarding Diluc is that you have to learn his E animation cancelling. It's pretty straightforward and in fact is one of the easiest to do. So you essentially weave your E in between each normal attack, kind of like how you do with Ribbon in League of Legends. And the animation of his skill will cancel your auto attack animation, which ultimately increases your DPS output. So on screen, you will be able to see what that looks like. So do familiarize yourself with this simple animation cancel to get more out of your Diluc. Something else you all may be wondering or maybe have heard people talking about is this Dragon Strike technique. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some mechanical god where I have mastered it. So I will redirect you all to another video where you can go learn this technique for yourselves. Also, do be careful because currently we anticipate that the Dragon Strike technique may be patched by MiHoYo going forward, and let's just say that it's not the easiest technique to learn and master, so decide for yourselves whether you want to devote so much time into learning a technique that is not going to be permanent. So with those 2 quick tips out, let's get into talent priority. So for Diluc, some may argue that all 3 skills are treated with equal value, but I have found that you should really be prioritizing Diluc's normal auto attacks followed by his elemental skill. The reason for this is because while Diluc's burst skill is superb, one of its effect is to empower your weapon with pyro infusion, meaning you end up having to auto attack anyways to make the most out of its effect. And if you're going to be auto attacking, you will likely be weaving in your elemental skill to animation cancel. And since Diluc's elemental skill works similar to Kaching's, meaning that the skill CD starts when you use the first strike, and it's ticking down internally even though you don't actually see it, ultimately shortening the actual skill downtime to around 7 seconds if you are doing good with your animation cancels. Due to this, I will personally prioritize auto attack talent followed by the elemental skill, and lastly his burst skill. So onwards to Diluc's weapons. If you are building Diluc, you then have a couple of options for free-to-play players. One of the best choices you have is actually the Prototype Archaic. This is an amazing choice as it echoes similar traits to Diluc's best in slot weapon, the Wolf's Gravestone. If you are looking for better, then you will get great results with the Black Cliff Sword. This weapon has a crit damage substat and serves as the best mobbing / abyss free-to-play weapon. If we keep going higher, we have the BP weapon being hands down the best 4-star choice for Diluc, and if you can avoid taking damage, well, let's just say that the BP weapon can even outperform a 5-star weapon, which is the Skyward's Pride. And speaking of 5-star weapons, the Unforged is currently in 2nd place, only to our 1st place Wolf's Gravestone. And at this point, I think no one will be surprised by this, because if you have the Wolf's Gravestone, you should just use it for Diluc. If you don't, then try to get your hands on the weapons that I have also mentioned here, as they are all great choices. For artifacts, Diluc only has one solid choice, which makes building him extremely easy. Just run the 4-piece witch set and you will be ready to smack some booty cheeks. So for main stat, you should be looking for attack on your sands, pyro on your cup, and crit rate or crit damage on your headpiece depending on your weapon of choice, and your other artifact substats. Since Diluc gains crit rate as you ascend him, you can usually get away with building crit damage for your headpiece, but if you are only relying on your Diluc's ascension stat, it will not be enough, so you do need some crit rate in your artifact substats. Trying to get crit rate to 50% would be a good start, and do remember to use the 1 to 2 rule, meaning you always want your crit damage to be double of your crit rate. But do remember, this is just for reference, it's not absolute. For substats, you should prioritize crit rate or crit damage first depending on what you need, followed by elemental mastery if you are running a constant vaporize or melt team with either Xingqiu or Chongyun. If not too reliant on reactions, then you would be looking for attack percentage instead of elemental mastery, and then followed by flat attack. So attack percentage and elemental masteries are interchangeable depending on what team you are running Diluc in. These are the stats to look for, and do remember, do not stress over the small numbers, as min-maxing is definitely a marathon in Genshin Impact. So finally, for Diluc, pros and cons. While Diluc was regarded as the best DPS in the game when Genshin Impact first released back in September 28th of 2020, nowadays he has been power crept by some other pyro units such as Klee and of course our crowd favorite Hu Tao. With that said, Diluc still reigns supreme over many other DPS options as he is still wielding pyro and is capable of running some otherworldly team comps that only he can take advantage of, such as the Diluc Chongyun melt comp. On top of that, thanks to Diluc being an older generation of characters, his kit is fairly simple to pick up and master versus Klee and Hu Tao, which some could say are more mechanically challenging. The biggest drawback for people when they are playing Diluc is that they often will feel that he is clunky to play, but that can be due to the fact that Diluc does require animation cancelling with his E to smooth out his otherwise clunky battle style, which ultimately makes him an acquired taste, much like picking your favorite wine. Yes, I know, that was very clever. Good job, Walrus. Anyways, that's it for the video. I will be releasing a separate video for team builds and proper showcasing, so look forward to that if you want some tips and advice on who you should be building with Diluc to draw out the most of his power. Anyways, remember to tune into the giveaway livestream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope to see you all there. With that said, I'll be taking my leave, but make sure to stay safe and peace.